Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dan and this is my review for The Book of Dust by Philip Pullman. I, as a child, was a huge fan of his Dark Materials trilogy, and the books which were in that trilogy is The Amber Spyglass, The Subtle Knife, and The Hourglass, I think it's called. I can't remember the third name actually, sorry about that. But anyway, so I was very excited when I heard that this book was out, and it was actually a prequel of, and it follows Lyra when she's a little baby, and this is very much what the book is. It is all the unanswered questions you have in the three books before, which were released. This answers it, or most of it, because as I read this, there were more questions which I remembered from reading the trilogy that needed to be answered. And to hear that there's the second book coming out, second book of Dust coming out, which is called The Commonwealth, and it's actually set after his Dark Materials trilogy, I'm actually really excited about that, to see where Lyra goes next. But anyway, about this book. The Book of Dust follows a young boy called Malcolm, Malcolm Polstead, I think his name is. Yep, Malcolm Polstead, and he lives in a inn near Oxford, just on the outskirts of Oxford, and he lives with his mum and dad who run an inn. This inn is opposite a place where nuns live, and I think it's called a chapel or priory or something like that. But it follows Malcolm and how he is introduced to Lyra and the nuns, because Lyra's there being hidden by the nuns on request of her father, Lord Asriel, who we all know is Lyra's father. Now, coming into this book, I actually struggled to remember all of the backstory of his Dark Materials, because obviously when you read something which is a prequel to an original existing trilogy, you have to remember what happened, and I struggled reading it. The first half of the book, I struggled reading it because it just showed a lot of stuff which was in the his Dark Materials trilogy, like the CCD, Mrs. Coulter, who's Lyra's mum. It's an origin story of all of that, and I really had to remember. This book also touches on religion, science as well, those topics, and it was hard for me to get into, I'm going to be honest. And I felt the first part was a long read, and all I wanted to do was get Malcolm to meet Lyra. In the end, he does, and after the second half, when there's a huge flood, that's when the action begins, and there is a bad guy in this book who is absolutely sinister. Even I was worried for the main characters, and he put the main characters in such peril and jeopardy, because Malcolm and Alice, who's another character, who at first Malcolm and Alice didn't like each other, they have to protect Lyra in the flood, and this man is coming after them because he wants to kill the baby. He wants to kill the baby because of a wrong which happened to him. I think by Lord Asriel. I'm pretty sure the book highlighted it, but I can't remember if it did or not properly. But all I can say is the action really kicks off in the second half of the book, which was absolutely brilliant. All the main characters from the three stories are involved. Miss Coulter, Lord Asriel, Lyra, her demon Pan. They're all there. And I feel like this book is how Lyra got to where she was in the Northern Lights. It's a very good read. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, apart from the very first part. But I kind of feel it left it open, but also I felt a bit disappointed by the suddenness of the ending. But I do now know that it leads directly onto the Northern Lights, so I'll give it a slip. I'll give it a pass there. Um, that's all I can say about this book. I really enjoyed it. It was great to get back into the environment and the land that Philip Pullman had created of Lyra's Oxford and Lyra's world. And I'm now eager to reread his Dark Materials trilogy, of which I will be doing sometime later down the line, because we've got a lot to review and a lot to do, a lot to read. I will review later down the line his Dark Materials, because the HBO TV show is coming out as well. So yeah, I will give this book a let's think 7 out of 10. Mainly because I had to remember what happened in the Dark Materials, and that I struggled with that, because maybe I should have read the original trilogy first and sooner. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching this. I know I'm not the best at doing these videos, but I'm trying, and it's actually helping my confidence. Please stay tuned for a spoiler review of Spider-Man Far From Home, because there's a lot to talk about in that film, and also a recap review of Stranger Things 2, because I've just finished that, and tomorrow is the new series, which I'm absolutely ready for, and expect, hopefully, I'm not promising anything, hopefully a recording on me watching episode 1. Thank you very much. I hope you all have a great day, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.